I want to just read off these names and then we'll invite them to the stage, and if I miss anybody, let me know when you get up here, guys, please, because you're all too big to upset. Dave Mary, Joe Franchosi, Gord Pransky, Wayne Long, Jerry Strong, Ken Bussey, Jim Burke, Mike Brosseau, Bruce Rassico, Phil Hughes, John Shaw, Doug Billings, John Purcell. They have come from every corner of North America, members of the 1963 Saint X football team. Wouldn't I love to see this battle for the chair? I think it's best it remains vacant. The Saint Francis Xavier University 1963 football team was born a few years too soon to show its magnificent talent to the nation in a national championship it surely would have won. In 1963, there was no Vanier Cup to be won by the best university football team in Canada. There was no Atlantic Bowl game as the 1963 season started, although it was organized later that year to give the X-Men a chance to show its mettle against a team from Upper Canada. But there was football in Atlantic Canada, and the X-Men played it better than any other team. By 1963, Don Loney had been on the X campus for 6 years as head football coach. He used his superb recruiting skills, a network of friends he made along the way, and the extreme love of blue and white of the alumni in New England and Ontario to build a program that was the envy of the region. He developed a pipeline of footballers, student athletes all, who steamrolled the opposition year after year. The 1963 team defeated all comers in the Nova Scotia Football League, teams from Acadia, Mount Allison, St. Mary's, Dalhousie, and St. Dunstan's in PEI, as well as teams Loney had coached a few years before at Stadacona and Shearwater. Packy McFarland, longtime player and administrator at the Antigonish University, helped Loney coach that 1963 team.
We had two great quarterbacks in Red Sivney and Doug Billings, and it was always a problem with DJ as to who was going to play and who was going to start. As well, it was a problem with those two as to who was going to play and who was going to start. So he used to let them play a half each. And I remember one game in that season, I think they both threw 5 touchdown passes, 5 in each half.
It's a good half. Packy McFarland, by the way, tonight is in Dublin, Ireland. He sends this note. Congratulations on your induction into the Nova Scotia Sport Hall of Fame. Sorry I cannot be with you this evening for the induction. However, tonight I will raise a glass of good Irish ale and toast the best ex-football team that ever wore the blue and white. Hail and health from Packy. The closest contest that year? Absolutely. The closest contest that year was a 14-13 win over St. Mary's. The X-Men allowed only 8 points, including 1 touchdown in the other 7 games. They scored as many as 90 points in a game and had other offensive totals of 77, 72, and 53. Including 1 exhibition game and the Atlantic Bowl, they scored 405 points and allowed only 21. Phil Hughes had come from Randolph, Massachusetts to study at X and play for Loney, and he knows how good that X team was.
A team from Antigonish, Nova Scotia to take on 2 teams from the Big Four and emerge victorious showed that football did exist out east, and I think we made a very, very big statement that still is upheld today and certainly continues with St. Mary's as the power that they are right now.
Exhibition game was against Mcgill, a 14-7 win over the highly touted squad led by Cornell graduate and Mcgill dental student Tom Skypeck at quarterback, a young man who had professional football potential but chose academics. In the Atlantic Bowl at a packed Wanderers grounds in Halifax, St. X defeated the University of Toronto Blues 15-9 to complete an undefeated 10-0 season. Hughes stayed in Antigonish to teach, and he's seen Atlantic football for the last 40 years.
Hugh has never been what you call a great critic.
Let us stop that one right now. I don't want to upset these guys. That's not Phil Hughes, of course. Let us rewind. We'll get to that one in a second. Right. Yeah, Phil, you lost a lot of pounds there. Let's talk about Don Loney for a second. Loney. Loney spent 17 years from 1957 to 1973 coaching at St. FX and compiled a 133-31-2 record. And reflected when asked if it was his best team ever, he said yes, but readily admitted 63 was the great year, and who could argue an undefeated 10-win season and astronomical scores in games where the substitutes saw considerable action. The 1963 Saint Francis Xavier football X-Men are now members, chartered members of the Nova Scotia Sport Hall of Fame. Now to present the certificate, Tom Kendall, the athletic director at Saint Francis Xavier University, and to present the pin is the president of the St. FX Alumni Association and longtime broadcaster and public address announcer of St. FX sporting events, Bill Kiley. Let's have co-captain Jim Burke come on out just for a second. Congratulations.
He looks great.
You look good too. Now listen, I just wanted to ask you first of all, I know Coach Loney can't be here tonight, and I know you can't obviously speak for him. How important was he to the success of this 63 team?
We were talking earlier what the man meant to us as a father figure and as a coach, because losing wasn't even in the question. It was how we were going to win and how many points. I was telling the story earlier. Now I'm from Boston, so we come up to Halifax my first year, and we fly in. We get on the train, and my fellow Bunny Griffin, who was instrumental in getting me to come to St. FX, said it's just a short ride up. 5 hours later, we're in Antigonish, and who meets us at the train station but Coach Loney? He's driving we've got a fancy Buick convertible at the time, big cigar, and the dog, of course. So he says to Bunny, put the luggage in the car, and you two show Burke the Antigonish. And we walked.
Really?
And we walked that.
Never ever would have guessed you were from Boston, by the way.
From 4 years.
Right.
From 4 years.
Red Sox did well, huh? Now, I'm sorry. Just one last question for you. All of you guys get together again tonight, probably for the first time in many years, from all corners of North America. What's it like? What's it like being with the guys again?
We're going to run a play right here. Let's get Phil Hughes, the center, out here. Let's get in formation. No,
I don't think Phil's buying this one.
It's wonderful. I mean, we had such great times together, and it's wonderful to see all you guys. But I'm so proud to go into a Hall of Fame with a bunch of guys like you people. I mean, from an old offensive lineman to be involved with a bunch of fellows like that, I'm humbled. I'm humbled. And to be with these guys, I'm humbled.
St. FX football, 1963, one of the best ever. Guys in the back, I'm sorry for that mistake. Let's cue it up right to the clip we played moments ago, okay? And we'll have that ready.